How regenerative braking works in Tesla vehicles. December 5, 2022. Regenerative braking is a way of taking energy from an electric vehicle and putting it into the battery. Here's how it works in Tesla vehicles and other EVs. Regenerative braking is one of the best features of an electric vehicle EV. This allows the car to recover the kinetic energy when it slows down or when it is going downhill. When you brake, you must slow down, and that energy has to go somewhere, the brake pads. In order to understand how the regenerative braking works, knowing how traditional braking works is helpful. A traditional braking system in a car is a brake pad that clamps on the wheel in order to slow the vehicle down. When you don't brake in a gas car, your car will generally just roll forward without much resistance other than wind or the tires on the ground. The problem with this braking system is that the braking system gets worn down by being used, and the energy used to slow down the car from the clamp slowing down the wheel gets wasted in the form of heat that simply goes out into the air. Tesla vehicles take advantage of regenerative braking even though they have a standard braking system on the car. Just in case you aren't able to use the regenerative braking to slow down. Many electric vehicles don't quite have the motor power to slow the car down. Higher-end Tesla vehicles can though. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. Anything that is set into motion has kinetic energy. Whether it is a baseball being thrown, or a car on the road moving forward. The key with regenerative braking is taking this kinetic energy and converting it into energy that can be put back into the battery, which will slow the car down because you are taking away the kinetic energy of the vehicle. Regenerative braking happens when you let off the pressure from the accelerator while you are driving forward. The electric motor in an EV is how this works. There is a stator and a rotor. The stator is the stationary part and the rotor is the part that moves and turns. The accelerator in an EV pushes current into the stator, creating a magnetic field, which then turns the rotor. Letting off the accelerator keeps the rotor turning and pushes current in the other direction, charging up the battery and reducing the kinetic energy of the vehicle. When you hit the brakes in an EV, or you let your foot off the accelerator, or drive downhill, the process of taking energy from the battery to go to the motor and spin the wheels forward goes in reverse and charges the battery. In an EV you can capture the wasted energy and use it to charge up the battery. EV brakes don't wear out very often, and not at all. This will extend your range in an EV, and the EPA range in an EV includes regenerative braking. This creates simplicity in using mostly the accelerator to go forward and to brake. Driving with just one pedal. In fact, going downhill one time in my Model 3 RWD, I gained about 6% of my battery just from the regenerative braking happening. I barely had to touch the accelerator pedal, and all the extra energy that would have made my car speed down the hill was instead converted into energy that was used to recharge the battery. Tesla vehicles are engineered to take advantage of regenerative braking. It is a brilliant technology. Source reposted and summarized from Mark Kane at Talk News. My take: regenerative braking used properly helps to make your brakes last longer and recharge your Tesla. Tesla launches 1000-volt powertrain. December 5, 2022. The launch of the Tesla Semi Class 8 electric semi brings multiple new solutions to the market, many not yet revealed. One such thing is the high-voltage powertrain system from Tesla. Tesla announced during the Semi delivery event that the truck is equipped with an all-new 1000-volt powertrain, which is a major contributor to the outstanding efficiency of the vehicle. It has 500 miles of range. After all, Tesla does not elaborate further on what it really means though. Whether it's exactly 1000 volt or around 1000 volt. Whether it's a nominal value or peak. Whether it's only for the battery system or also for the 3 inverters and motors, which we assume. Nonetheless, it's a groundbreaking change for the company, which accustomed us to using a 400-volt battery system in its electric cars. The Model 3, Model Y, Model S and Model X. Some of the EV manufacturers already introduced the first electric car models with 800-volt or even 900-volt level systems. We can mention Porsche Taycan as well as Hyundai Motor Group's EGMP-based Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6. The Lucid Air is even at 924 volt. In the 22-module long-range battery pack version, compared to 756 volt in the 18-module battery pack version. Rivian announced an intention to go 800 volt. Please note that exact voltage of the system changes between 0% and 100% state of charge quite noticeably, just like individual battery cell voltage. multiplied by the number of cells in series. The difference might exceed a quarter of the peak value, so we are talking about more than 200-volt change. Many of us wondered whether Tesla will be switching to an 800-volt class battery system in its passenger cars. For the Tesla Semi, it was expected. Large vehicles, especially a Semi, really require high power, both to drive and to charge fast. Because electric losses scale with the square of the current, it's always worth increasing voltage and sending the same power at a proportionally lowered current. On the charging side, it allows reduced cable thickness, weight and losses. On the side of the drive units, between the battery pack and wheels, it allows for improved efficiency of driving as well as regenerative braking. The better the efficiency, the smaller and lighter the battery and the cost of the vehicle. Assuming the same range, the drawback of higher voltage is that it's a more advanced solution. It might require more expensive elements or a redesign of existing parts in the high voltage system. But in general, the switch to a higher voltage level is a necessity. The railroad industry knows it very well, and those in the aviation industry better learn it fast. Tesla Cybertruck is next. Tesla decided that it is moving to 1000 volts in the Semi. But for sure it will not be the only high voltage electric vehicle from Tesla. The company has admitted that more vehicles are coming with that system. It's an obvious suggestion that the next one will be the Tesla Cybertruck. Especially because it's also going to get some really fast charging capability. Level of 1 megawatt. The main question is whether 1000 volt will remain only for the large vehicles or also for passenger cars. Like the Model 3, Model Y, Model S and Model X may be with another significant upgrade to its existing cars. Or an introduction of a new model. Tesla will decide to also increase the range and further increase efficiency. Source reposted and summarized from Mark Kane at Inside EV. My take: the 1000-volt powertrain will really increase charging speed for the Cybertruck. Tesla's Quicksilver Model Y. December 5, 2022. Tesla has shipped some of the first Model Ys finished in the new Quicksilver paint color to showrooms across Europe, allowing customers to get an up-close look at the new color exclusive to Giga Berlin. Several weeks ago, a batch of newly built Quicksilver Model Ys was spotted outside Giga Berlin. The sighting led many to believe that deliveries of the new color were going to start soon. But we reported that they were instead going to be put on display at showrooms across Europe. That has now happened, and they have spotted at multiple Tesla showrooms in Germany, Denmark, and Belgium. Tesla announced the new Quicksilver paint last month, along with Midnight Cherry Red, both of which will only be offered from Giga Berlin's paint shop. The color can only be produced at that factory because the paint shop was specially built to apply many fine layers of paint, giving it complexity not otherwise possible, Elon Musk explained. While crews at Giga Berlin have been making quite a few Model Ys finished in Quicksilver, there have so far been no sightings of Midnight Cherry Red, and based on information from our sources, none have been produced so far. Deliveries of Quicksilver are expected to begin early next year. Source reposted and summarized from Darren John at Drive Tesla Canada. My take: Tesla's new paint shop is a step above the competition. Tesla's smaller Cybertruck. December 5, 2022. The design for the Tesla Cybertruck's smaller variant seems to be hiding in plain sight. As spotted recently by some eagle-eyed electric vehicle enthusiasts, Tesla has shared a pretty interesting version of its futuristic all-electric pickup truck in its exhibit at the Peterson Automotive Museum. Tesla's exhibit at the Peterson Museum is extensive, as it highlights the company's history, as well as the products and innovations that have helped it become a dominating force in the EV sector over the years. Being an upcoming vehicle that has generated a lot of excitement, the Tesla Cybertruck was heavily featured in the exhibit. Tesla chief designer Franz von Holzhausen was even interviewed in the Cybertruck section. Included in the Cybertruck section at the exhibit was a sketch of the vehicle, which was set up close to the futuristic pickup truck. The sketch is particularly interesting since it depicted a pickup truck that's quite a bit different from the hulking Cybertruck prototype unveiled in late 2019 or the updated Alpha Cybertruck units that were spotted around California later. Unlike Tesla's prototypes, the vehicle in the sketch was a two-door Cybertruck. A number of things stand out in the sketch of the two-door Cybertruck. For one, the vehicle looks more compact than the Cybertruck prototypes that Tesla has built so far. Its cabin still looks spacious and airy thanks to its long windshield and short hood. Its bed, which is also covered by a tonneau. Also looks capable of carrying a lot of cargo despite the vehicle's seemingly more compact size. The two-door Cybertruck design featured in the sketch at the Peterson Automotive Museum has received a lot of positive reactions from the Tesla community, with some noting that they actually prefer the more compact look of the all-electric pickup truck. Fortunately, the idea of Tesla releasing a smaller Cybertruck in the future is not far-fetched at all. Elon Musk himself said as much in the past, following the unveiling of the original Cybertruck prototype in late 2019. Musk was asked on Twitter if Tesla would be open to making a more compact version of the Cybertruck down the road. Musk responded positively to the inquiry, noting that, long-term, it probably makes sense to build a smaller Cybertruck too. If such a vehicle looks anything like the two-door Cybertruck sketch, then Tesla would probably have yet another bestseller in its lineup. Source reposted and summarized from Simon Alvarez at Tesla RT. My take: it's nice to have a choice, as the full-sized Cybertruck won't even fit in most people's garage.